Good day, people. My name is Buzz, but you can call me Buzz. And today I'm totally gonna read some Reddit stories for you. Why? Because I want to. Second reason, because I can. I found a list with some of the best Am I the Asshole posts and picked a few from that list, and without further ado, I'm gonna read you the first story. Am I the asshole for bringing up my brother's premature birth at Christmas dinner to get my parents to shut up? I guess. I'm a nurse practitioner and I'm a primary care provider for a lot of the low-risk maternity cases at the practice where I work. I also work hand in hand with the doctors and midwives to create a healthy maternity, birth and postpartum situation. My fiancée is completing her residency. We live together and have for a few years now. We aren't in any hurry to get married. We originally had plans to do so a couple of years ago, but then we got really busy for 2 years. It is driving my very religious parents crazy that their youngest son is living in sin. I don't really care. I'm an adult and I do what I want. We are getting married in June. So we are visiting my parents for Christmas. The way it came together this year, everyone is at my parents' house. So that's my folks, my 3 siblings, myself and fiancé, and 7 grandchildren. So 17 people. Holy shit, that's a big family. At dinner, my mom starts going on about how she is so glad that we are finally getting married and she won't be embarrassed at church anymore. And my dad says how proud he is of his 3 older kids who all either waited to get married before moving in together or got married right away after moving in together. My fiancé was getting embarrassed and I was getting mad over the stupid argument we have had too many times. And a family dinner was the last straw. My parents are really non-religious, but in my opinion have a good moral compass, and that's enough for me. I don't need religion to see what's right and wrong. I guess. I think. I have asked them repeatedly to just accept that they cannot control how I live my life. I refuse to stay with them when I visit, even if I come alone. Hotels are just easier. So I started talking about a premature baby I had been reading about. It was almost 3 months premature and weighed about 1.6 pounds. I don't really know how much that is. I'm a kg man. It was super strong and healthy for being born so little, and the NYCU had high hopes for the baby doing well. Good news, man. My mom and dad both got deer in the headlight looks on their faces. Too bad. You shouldn't have f***ed around with my fiancé's feeling. I like this guy. So I asked about my oldest brother. He was born almost 4 months premature. Is there a chance that we could check out the family album where we keep all the records of family birth and stuff? I already know my brother was over 9 pounds and almost 23 inches long when he was born. My grandmother told me all about it the first time my parents tried to shame me. To shame me, holy f***. The subject gets changed very fast. After supper, my parents told me that I should not try to embarrass them with private things that are not my concern. What the f***? I don't get this in these f***ing stories. There's so many people that don't have any boundaries, but their own. And they are aggressively defending their own boundaries, but don't even see the boundaries of every other person. I don't get it, holy shit. But that's why this is so entertaining, because it's like an accident, you can't look away, but it's infuriating to me sometimes. I told them that if I heard anything about my living arrangements ever again for the rest of my life, I would make sure to keep bringing up the fact that my mom was in her 2nd trimester when they got married. That's dope, so cold, man. I like it. My parents are mad at me for telling them how to behave in their own home, but my fiancé is happy that they seem to be off the subject for good. Am I the asshole? In my opinion, hell no. That was cool, man. Because yes, they are your parents, and yes, they raised you and stuff, but when you grow old, you form your own opinions and you want to stand for your own principles. And in my opinion, they should be the mature ones and accept the son no matter what he wants if he isn't hurting anyone else. Yeah, not the asshole in my opinion. I have had conversations with my parents as well, and they haven't been nice, but they were productive. So sometimes you just have to talk about those things. Okay, some comments right here. The verdict, obviously not the asshole. Not the asshole. That was beautifully handled. You didn't call them out and embarrass them. But you stood your ground. I did laugh out loud when you said where you got your blackmail information. Grandma had that in her pocket for a long time, I'm guessing. Congratulations on your upcoming wedding. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a great new year. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking. It's hilarious. Grandma is dope. Grandma is a G. Not the asshole. My grandma used to say the first baby after marriage can come anytime. The second one always takes 9 months. Next time they give you guys grief, discuss how comfortable the backseat of your dad's old car was. Not the asshole. I absolutely love this. My own judgy grandmother pretended to be oh so moral in the old-fashioned sense. My father accidentally revealed that she was pregnant when she got married to my grandfather. That was incorrect. She wasn't pregnant at all. My oldest uncle was about 7 months old when they got married. Loving LMAO. And why they couldn't get married sooner? My grandfather had to get divorced from his first wife. It's often the people with most things to hide who enjoy judging others for things that are none of their business. That's so right. Yeah, absolutely. No doubt. It's something like a defensive mechanism or something. Just lash out and don't hold yourself accountable for you've done or you've lived through, and yeah, just not working through it and ignoring it. What the That's a cool story. I like that one. That made me a little bit happier than I was before. Alright, nice. Next story. Am I the asshole for pretending to get fired when customers get a temper with me? I am a high schooler with a weekend job at a coffee shop. My coworker who works for weekends are James, the owner's son. He goes to my school. He's a shift manager, but it's not a real formal thing. He's a friendly guy. And Danielle, a college student who sometimes works weekends too. So sometimes customers will come in and just be angry about such little stuff, like literally blow up about nothing. How sad do you have to be a grown-ass man taking your anger out on high school and college kids? So James and I were joking about having a little fun with them and hopefully getting them off our backs. One day I was at work and some guy was having a temper about how we don't make the coffee hot enough, which I couldn't do a thing about because I gave it to him right out of the machine. So James came in and was like, "Sir, is there a problem here?" And the guy was starting ranting at him too. So he was just like, "OP, this is unacceptable. You're fired." I started acting real sad, like, "No, please don't fire me. My family needs the money and I need this job, please." And he played up being a hard ass, telling me to take off my apron and leave. Holy. The angry guy started to backtrack like, "It isn't that big of a problem. You don't need to fire her over it. I didn't mean it." And James was like, "No, we pride ourselves on the best customer service." Of course, after all the drama, I still had my job and we were just acting. And we've done it a couple times. Whenever a customer will lose their temper at Danielle or I, James will storm in and fire us. And almost every time the person who had come in angry will apologize and say that they didn't mean it. It's kind of satisfying making people realize their actions might actually have consequences. Anyway, I was telling my friends from school about this, and a few of them thought it was a mean prank to let someone go away thinking they'd gotten someone who desperately needs the money fired. Am I the asshole for this joke? In my opinion, not really. I mean, it's a valuable lesson for these people, because people are running around doing stuff and don't really think that their actions have consequences. So I guess it's a good thing for them to see that there will be consequences sometimes if they lash out for no reason or for such a small reason. It's not okay to take the anger you have in you to other persons and just vent it out. Just open up your vents and push out the anger onto poor retail workers and stuff. That's not okay. And I guess sometimes your emotion can manipulate your reasonable thinking, and a stunt like that would bring the people back to the reality, I guess. So, yeah, I don't mind. If you're coming in like an asshole, you can leave like an asshole, I guess. Okay, next story. Am I the asshole for making a dad joke? Possible. Note: my stepdaughter Madeline was about a year old when I married her mother, Jessica. Madeline's father died before she was born. Madeline is currently 15 and she's rebelling for almost everything. She did something bad, so while picking her up, I set a punishment up for her. Then she said, "You're not my dad!"
You're not my dad!
You're not my dad! Honestly, I got a bit hurt from that, but I understand that she didn't mean it and that she'd probably change. I just replied, I'm still your legal guardian for the next 3 years, and as long as you're in my house, you have to follow my rules. That happened about 2 days ago. So our family was going grocery shopping when Madeline said, I'm hungry, I need food. I decided to be extremely cheeky and say, hi hungry, I'm not your dad. My son just started to laugh uncontrollably. Understandable. My daughter was just quiet with embarrassment, and my wife was berating me not to stoop down to her level. I honestly thought it was a funny dad joke, and my son agrees, so am I the asshole? Edit, I did adopt her, so legally I am a parent. Yes, so it's funny. I think it's just funny. A silly joke, and she deserved it, and she got it back. She got it back from her stepdad. I like it. I think it's funny. Some comments. Everyone sucks, but that was one hell of a joke, and I congratulate you for it. Yeah. You're the asshole, but a small one. It's a fun joke, but wrong audience. Yeah. I don't even think that it's the wrong audience. It's just people need to get a little bit more loose. They need to loosen up a bit. My dad is cursing me out all the time, and I know it's his love language. And I think it was good to just lighten up the situation. You could say the joke was a little bit petty or something like that, but it's just a fun joke, just a fun retaliation. So there's a mini update. I go to my daughter's room after dinner and begin talking with her. Hey, I'm really sorry that I hurt you by the words I said, and I am really your dad. I changed your diapers, I met your boyfriend, and I plan on helping you through college. And plus, I'm legally your dad, so we're stuck together. But seriously, I'm going to love you like my daughter even if you don't think I'm your dad. Then I hugged her. She did start to cry. I assume that's good. Oh, that's wholesome. Yeah. Yeah, so typical situation with your teenage child or teenage stepchild in this case. Teenagers already have such a tough time with all the social stress and pressure they get, and from school the pressure, and their bodies are going out of control and the hormones are going out of control. So yeah, it'll be like that in a family, and sometimes for rebelling teenagers it's hard to accept a step-parent. It's even hard for teenagers to accept biological parents in this age. In my opinion, it didn't hurt the relationship between the two. I even think it made it a little bit better, because sometimes you just need to say things to vent a little bit, and the best way is to do it with people you trust and you know that you can say things. It doesn't change anything between the two of you. Yeah, I like that one. Funny. Next one. Am I the asshole for telling my wife the lock on my daughter's door does not get removed till my brother-in-law and his daughter are out of our house? A lock on the door of your daughter. So that's a red flag. My brother-in-law, Sammy, lost his home shortly after his divorce 10 months ago. He moved in with us and brought his twin daughters, Olivia and Sloane, 18, with him a couple of months ago. Sloane, what a name. Sloane. Sloane? His sister, my wife, and I have one daughter, Zoe, 16, and she and her cousins aren't close but get along fine. Olivia and Sloane have no respect for Zoe's privacy. None. They used to walk into her room and take everything they get their hands on. Oh, okay, I see where this is going. Makeup, phone, accessories, clothes, school laptop, etc. Zoe complained a lot, and I've already asked the girls to respect Zoe's privacy and stop taking things. My wife and Sammy saw no issue with this. After all, they're girls, and this is typical teenage girls behavior. I completely disagree. I disagree too. Last straw was when Zoe bought a $60 makeup kit that looks like a paint set that she saved up for over a month, and one of the girls, Sloane, took it without permission and ruined it by mixing shades together while using it. Don't know much about makeup, but that's what Zoe said when she found the kit on her bed and was crying. I told my wife and she said she'd ask Sloane to apologize, but I got Zoe a lock after I found she was moving valuable belongings out the house because of this incident. Oh, okay. So she obviously is starting to feel very uncomfortable with the situation and in her own home. Sammy and his daughter saw the lock and weren't happy. The girls were extremely upset. Sammy asked about it and I straight up told him. He said, "My daughters aren't thieves. It's normal that girls of the same age borrow each other's stuff. He said Zoe could easily get another makeup kit for $15 from Walmart and shouldn't even be buying expensive adult makeup in the first place, and suggested my wife take care of this defect in Zoe's personality trying to appear older than she is. What the f***? He accused me of being overprotective and babying Zoe with this level of enablement. What the f***? Every time I hear something like this, I have never met a person like that. I never have. I told him this is between and my wife, but she shamed me for putting a lock on Zoe's door for her cousins to see and preventing them from spending time with her, saying I was supposed to treat them like daughters, then demanded I removed it, but I said this lock does not get removed till her brother and his daughter are out of our house. What a man. She got mad I was implying we kicked them out and said her family will hate me for this. So I reminded her that I let Sammy and his family move in, which is something her own family refused to do, so she should start with shaming and blaming them for not taking their own son and nieces, granddaughters in. If it wasn't for her family's unwillingness to help, we wouldn't be dealing with this much disturbance at home. Everyone has been giving me and Zoe silent treatment and my wife is very upset. Yeah, in reality, he just needs to respect the rules of someone's home that isn't his own. He can do in his home whatever he wants, and his daughters, whatever, can do whatever they want, but not in the home of another person, even if it's family. And the argument that the daughter has a faulty personality for wanting to buy this makeup set, it's insane to me. It's just, if she wants it, that's totally valid. She can have it, she can buy it if she has some money. And his brat daughters just wrong for taking her stuff. Why isn't the dad buying them the stuff they want? His daughters go to the $60 makeup set because they want it too. He should take care of that fault in the personality of his daughters, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. So guys, this was the first one. I would like to do this more, sprinkle some of those videos in from time to time in between the normal content. Don't worry, all the Smosh content is still going to come until there is no more. If you liked it, drop a like. If you're new here, drop a follow if you want to hear German speaking English. If you got this far, write "I'm not your dad" in the comments. Thank you. Have a nice day.